Well, hello, kiddies. Are you looking for a movie to add to your Halloween horror movie fright fest?
I believe I have just a thing. Here we go. Tales from the Crypt Demon Night. So Tales from the Crypt Demon Night came out in 1995, I believe it was. It was a Tales from the Crypt movie based off of the Tales from the Crypt TV show. If you don't know what Tales from the Crypt was, think Outer Limits with a Halloween horror edge to it. Granted, Outer Limits sometimes was that, but Tales from the Crypt was always that. Hosted by the Crypt Keeper. Crypt Keeper was my hero. Crypt Keeper attitude, Crypt Keeper puns. It was one of those shows I watched and my mom never knew I watched. I just had to be skillful of knowing when it was on, when she would or would not be there, and then watch Tales from the Crypt. One could say, in order to not get caught, I had to be very, very scareful. But alright, so Demon Night, and the premise of Demon Night, very simple. William Sadler is the good guy. He has a key that this demon played by Billy Zane wants. Then William Sadler and a bunch of civilians are holed up in this hotel, and Billy Zane and these demons that he summons from the ground are trying to get in to get that key. So they have to survive and escape. And that's the night. All right, so out the gate, what I love about this movie, Billy Zane. It's one of those movies with one of those roles you watch and you're like, why don't we see more Billy Zane now? He's completely amazing and steals the show in Tales from the Crypt Demon Night. He was great in Titanic. Where is he? And maybe he doesn't want to be in the forefront. Maybe he just doesn't like the spotlight. He gets consistent work, but maybe he's just like, I don't need that shit. Point is, he's such a great actor, and he was great in Demon Night. I mean, him being a demon, he has this carefree, snarky-ass attitude. I wouldn't say carefree, because definitely he seems stressed out at the fact that this guy just won't give this key to him.
You fucking ho-dunk, po-dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
But the point is, he just has a devilish, playful attitude in this movie, and he's just such a dick when he does it. There are a couple scenes he just kind of reminds me of the evil version of the genie from Aladdin. I'm not gonna compare him to Robin Williams' wit or anything, but he does have a couple times where he's dressed one way, you know, he has one costume, and then he gives someone a vision, they're in a completely different place, and then he's in that vision and he's dressed a completely different way and he has a completely different attitude. You can just tell Billy Zane was having so much fun in this role and he was just owning it. There's actually a surprisingly big cast. Not just William Sadler, I'm talking Thomas Hayden Church, Jada Pinkett, the legendary Dick Miller you might know from any of those movies you enjoyed from the 80s or your childhood. Some of the visual effects do look dated. I'm talking the CGI effects, you know, the ones done on computers. For some odd reason, I'm like, that looks like 1985, not necessarily 1995. I get the movie didn't have a huge budget though, so there is that. Besides, it's an old horror movie. What is old horror movie if it doesn't have dated visual effects? Part of the charm, really. The special effects, the practical effects, I think those are great. The demons growing out of the ground, the creature designs, they look like ghoulish goblin-like demons. But the point is, when it comes to bloody, messy, gory, pussy refuse, which is what I like in a movie like this movie does have it, and it looks pretty disgusting. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the practical effects. I will say, and I'll say it here, and I mean this phrase as a compliment, which is funny because usually when I say this phrase, I mean it as a negative. And anyone out there who says this phrase for this movie and you mean it as a negative, I completely understand, because when I do say this phrase, I usually mean it as a negative. But in this case, I mean it as a positive. Tales from the Crypt Demon Night feels like a 2-hour episode of Tales from the Crypt. In terms of tone and execution, this does feel like a 2-hour episode of Tales from the Crypt. And I gotta say, that's probably what makes it work for me. Right down to the Crypt Keeper having the intro and the outro say in the entire story. You just feel like they knew it was a Tales from the Crypt movie, but you had to keep that Tales from the Crypt TV show flavor, and they did. Now, does this mean you have to enjoy the Tales from the Crypt show in order to enjoy Demon Night? I don't know. I have to think there's probably a causality there. Or at the very least, if you like Demon Night and you've never seen the Tales from the Crypt TV show, I imagine you will probably like the Tales from the Crypt TV show. And that's many more hours of ghoulish entertainment that you can enjoy. So enjoy, and you're welcome. The one thing I wish this movie gave me was more Billy Zane. I get it, you want to leave the audience wanting more, but in a world where we don't have a sequel to Demon Night, leave the audience wanting more without giving them more later. Just, it kind of feels a little empty in hindsight. Could have gone for a couple more scenes with Billy Zane. What can I say? I like my fun demon assholes. having fun on screen. That's completely what he is and what he did. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you want to have a Halloween movie binge and you want a pretty fun one, yet ridiculous one, but one that owns what it is, Tales from the Crypt Demon Night. It's a great time, no alcohol required. You know, now that I'm talking about it, I do want to see a resurgence of Tales from the Crypt. I would love this show to come back, or for there to be another Tales from the Crypt movie. Don't let it die with Bordello of Blood. I think Tales from the Crypt has more to offer. I think fans would eat it up. I would. All right, so Tales from the Crypt Demon Night. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Do you have fun with it? Is it too cheesy for your taste? Did you enjoy Tales from the Crypt, the TV show back in the day? Do you enjoy it now? Whatever you think, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.